Okay, so this was the second sewing machine I ever owned. Got this after I broke my first one. I actually broke this one the same day I had it home, and I went ahead and put new gears in it. This is a 457 Stylist, they call this, made by Singer. This one was made in 1969. And it's a pretty good machine. Let's see. Zigzag it. I've used a double needle on this machine with no problems. It's sewn vinyl, it's sewn everything really. It's been a good machine. But I don't use it anymore, so I'm probably going to give it to my aunt, which is probably what's happening with this one. But there is the 457. This is my Singer 626. This one was made in 1966. This was like the top of the line. From what I read, that you could get as far as a home machine went. It's got a lot of different little cams and different things it can do. I'm not real familiar with it. When I bought this one, it came with all the accessories. I got 2 different button holders, all kinds of different stuff. And it works great. The only problem was when I bought it, it had broken. The woman who owned it had broken it and had her husband try and fix it. And he started taking it apart and screwed up a bunch of stuff. And I mean, there's some parts in here like left-hand threads. We just stripped them trying to get them off. So there's that, but it works great. Let's turn it on. Really smooth. I put nylon gears in it to replace the original plastic. Let's do a decorative stitch. Show you kind of how this one looks. See, it did kind of little, well, it's blue on black, so you can't see it, but it did little, like pyramids there. Just one of the stitches it can do. And this is a pretty great machine. I use this to do all, like, when I fix my clothes and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to probably keep this one around. So this is a Singer model 329K. The K means it was made in Kilbowie, Scotland, in Great Britain. 329, so this is basically like a 63-64 model. If we're going in decreasing years as we've been going. Bobbin winders right here. It has the nice felt oil ports up here. I use this machine a lot, actually. I used to use it a lot. You can see it's got the Teflon foot on it. I did all my vinyl work on it until I got a bigger machine. It worked flawlessly. This is one of the last all metal Singers. Everything's metal on it. All metal gearing. It's real heavy duty. Runs real nice. Has a really funny foot control though. I use this machine a lot, and then all of a sudden one day it just started skipping stitches. I don't know why. I haven't had a chance to play with it more. But it's a really great machine. It's really stylish. Just doesn't have a lot of features. But I really like it. So there's that one. Let's see if it's skipped. Yeah, see how it's just skipping stitches. So anyway, that's the problem with that one. I'll get that one fixed. But I really like this machine. I'm keeping it. I use it a lot. It's a really good machine. So those were all my Singers. Now we're on to, this is the oldest machine I own. This is a Kenmore Model 117. This particular year on this one, if I can look, is a 1952. It's a 117552, so that makes it a 52. I use this machine a whole lot. It makes all of the canvas bags, the canvas motorcycle bags I make. Here, let's just see that. Makes all these. Make those quite a bit with it. It's a real good machine. I don't know if you can see it, but if you just see how well oiled and When I got this thing, it was all gummed up. This is also one of the only 2 machines I've ever bought that came in tables. Light on. It didn't need too much. It's been a real solid workhorse for me since I've had it. One of the nice features I like about it is when you raise and lower the presser foot, it has a feature on here where you can lift it about twice as high, which is great if you're doing a lot of thick stuff. So let's fold over. This is now 4 layers of canvas. I'll show you. And I gotta take this out. What this does here, it actually pushes the electric motor away from the wheel, because what happens is it has a rubber little wheel that sits against this, and it's called a friction drive. And that's what actually drives the motor. And what happens is, since that motor is like spring-loaded into the wheel, if you let it sit, it'll get a flat spot on the wheel from sitting, and it makes a lot of noise. So if you keep something in there, like I had that clamp which pushes it away, it won't do that. And then on this one, I actually replaced the rubber wheel because it was really old and wasn't working right, and it didn't work. And even the new one I got didn't work very well. So what I ended up doing is I have a piece of rubber here out of the top of a motorcycle shock, which fits on, and that drives it just excellent. So here, I'll show you how it works. And another thing I had to do on this one was, when I bought it, the bobbin winder was missing the rubber. So what I did is I just stacked up a bunch of O-rings. If you look on here, apologize for my zoom. That's just a bunch of O-rings stacked up in that wheel, which lets the bobbin winder work real nice. So there's that. I'll show you how smooth it runs. Hardly makes any noise when it's running. It's got the nice felt oil things in it, which make it really easy to oil. It's a good workhorse. The one thing it takes a little bit getting used to on this one is the wheel turns the opposite way of the Singer's, so a little bit tricky getting used to, but other than that, I really like the way it's set up. I like the forward and reverse controls, chrome. I like how you can adjust it. This is definitely one of my favorite machines. This is the newest machine I own. I just got this one. I've been looking for a walk-in foot machine for a while, but I couldn't find one in my price range. And then this one came about. It was I forget what the guy had it up for, but I think I paid $100 for it, which is a pretty good deal. This one when I bought it, it was called a Family Sew, I think. I wiped the name off because it was, you know, it's supposed to be a heavy-duty machine, and with family written on it, it just wasn't doing it for me. So I wiped that off. For those of you who don't know what this machine is, basically a Sailrite knockoff machine. I wanted a Sailrite, but I just couldn't afford it. But this is essentially identical. Bar some tuning problems because of the Sailrite machine. You get some more. They put it together in the United States, and they're better put together. They're better put together. So I'll show you first some of the things I had to do to this one to make it usable. The first one was I had a problem where the presser foot would only lift up about this high, not the full height. So that took some research, and what I ended up figuring out was this bar right here that goes down the machine that actually lifts the mechanism up was too long by about 1/4 inch. So you can see right here where I've cut and re-welded that to make it shorter, and now I get the maximum lift out of it. I can actually get the 3/8 foot height like this machine should have. Let's see, I had to put some Sharpie marks on that because it doesn't have any marks on it. One of the other things that Sailrite I heard did to their older machines was to, here I'll show you with the flashlight. Right in here, you can see there's a see it, but there's that round loop there I actually added and welded in, and that's something I've heard that Sailrite did on some of their older machines because that part was prone to failure. So I just copied what they did to beef that up a little bit. So I did that to it. The biggest difference that I did to it, which helped the most, was actually using an automotive belt conditioner on the belts. That helped it pick up its low speed a lot. You could really hear the speed change when I was putting the conditioner on the belts. It helped a lot. Pretty nice. That machine will sew through just about anything. It's what I mostly use to do all the motorcycle seats that I make, and I actually really like it. I'm looking to upgrade to a more industrial machine, like a real industrial machine, but for right now this works pretty good.